Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Electro-Anarchy. Today I'm going to start a project. I don't know how many videos this is going to be long. It all depends on what I find in here. But this is going to be basically a what if type video. What if you took an old laptop and used what you can find and make it into something more modern, more capable. So what I did, I went down to my local Good Bites and I picked up this Toshiba, what's this thing? Toshiba Satellite. It was originally, this thing is still kind of heavy, but that's basically what this is. It was originally I think it was had a Centrino. It had Windows Vista, Home Premium. That's what it came with. And as you can see, the memory's gone, the battery's missing, the hard drive caddy is empty, and actually this is the hard drive caddy up here, and actually I think, did this have two hard drives? Let's see. Or is this some sort of, no, there's a connector here for a hard drive, and on this side, I don't know what this is, because it looks almost as if it was a hard drive, a caddy for a hard drive, but it might have been something else, or maybe it was just never populated. Looks like it may have never been populated. But, you know, taking all this into consideration here is like, well, we're going to be ripping the motherboard out. We're going to be removing all of this stuff. And, you know, it has some speakers. It has some fans. It does have a decent display. It has a really nice keyboard, nice mouse pad. It does have the Centrino Duo, and you know, it has a nice screen on it. So the plan for this guy is to take it apart and to install this guy. This is a Raspberry Pi Zero, and going to see what is it going to take to get this guy in this laptop and make my very own Pi top, in essence. Be a heck of a lot cheaper. Now I bought this at Good Bites for 10 bucks. That's all it cost to buy this, and this actually was the largest screen, largest case, and everything that I could find. I'm just, you know, I don't know what kind of support boards that I'm going to need to, you know, get or make for this. So that's kind of the reasoning behind. Now once I get this figured out and get an idea of how this is, then I can, you know, possibly buy smaller laptops and then convert that over. I do know that one of the biggest factors on whether this will work or not is the connections on the LCD screen. If it's going to be a proprietary connection, or if it's going to be a connection that I can use an adapter board on. So I figure first things first, let's get this thing apart and see what's in here. So I'll bring you back when I get this stripped down. Okay, been able to get this thing stripped down. This 17-inch display, fortunately, is an LVDS display, and it has a standard LVDS connector. Now the connector that was originally on this has a, you know, of course, a proprietary plug that plugs into the motherboard, but that's no real big deal because there are tons of these little adapter boards like this that you can use and plug in. Now this is a little bit different of an LVDS. This is for the smaller panels. I have one for larger panels, but it will not run it doesn't have the correct inverter. Now I did test this. It is just a single wire inverter. I did look on eBay and they do have these for pretty cheap, but of course it comes from China, so I'll have to wait to get that particular part. But it seems as though these Toshiba laptops do have LCD panels in them that are usable. Alright, now for the cover, I took out the antennas because they're not going to be used with what we're going to do here. But what it does have is it has a camera, which looks like the connection, even though it is this type of plug-in. I do believe that this is a USB connection here, so I can just retrofit in USB further down in there and make that work. And then it has a little microphone, which I think I'll be saving and keeping those functional on the unit. Okay, here we go. Other things to note, the buttons on this Synaptic touchpad, the buttons are actually mounted on the motherboard, so I'm going to have to do a little work on this. Probably put some probably build a board down here, put some tack switches, and make these basically build a mouse. Now, as far as this Synaptic board, I am not 100% sure. I'm going to have to take a look and see what they're using here on this connector, and see if it's something that can be made to connect to the Pi, but I'm not 100% sure just yet. A few other things is there are these small little icons down here for, you know, charging, power, I guess low battery or something, I'm not sure, hard drive, and then I'm not sure what this one is. This one's a little interesting, but in any case, there are holes on the back side here, and it looks like even the Toshiba little logo look like you could put LEDs on this and make it, or the satellite, make it illuminate as well. So there's some things there that can be modified. The speakers, there's no issue on the speakers. They look like they kind of have some interesting little sound tunnel things in here, but they're just your standard audio connections. So there should be no problem getting that retrofitted. Other than that, that's about all that's left on here. Now on the bottom, probably going to come in and some of these areas here, probably cut them out, 3D print some, basically some plugs, and fix that up. Now we have a dual port USB here, and it looks like a telephone jack. That, you know, absolutely is going to be gone. But the USB side of it, I think with this little strip that comes over here, I think if I go in and the way this is wired, I think I might be able to just solder in jumpers to extend, let's say off of a USB hub, extend out here, and so that I have external USB. Another thing too is it had where there was an SD card reader here, and then there's a volume and some other garbage here, as well as what looks like a Wi-Fi on and off thing. That will probably most of this stuff will be eliminated, but I might be able to make that into a USB port. But this one, I will just take I'll just take a card reader and just retrofit that in, just put that in to where we can put an SD card in and out of it. Over on the side there's an Ethernet port, it looks like some more USB stuff, and what looks like, I'm guessing this was for a display out, like maybe S-Video, I don't know, kind of weird, something there, something access, some kind of crap there. And then the other thing, and I don't know if I'll be able to make it work or not, is this does have disk drive or CD burner. It's a multi recorder, rewritable, DVD rewritable, and I think it even said that something about being able to do labels, flash the tops of them to make it labels on there. So that's kind of interesting. I highly doubt, but then again, you never know. There's so many different things as far as converting these, making these into, so like external drives. Maybe I can get that and then turn this into an internal, because from what I saw, I believe there is a connector on, yeah, right here. There's a connector here, and it was able to still function even without the motherboard. So it can be mounted to this independently without any of the motherboard or the other components, and that would allow the functionality of being able to read DVDs and CDs and stuff, which gives it more of a laptop feel. The last thing here is the keyboard. Now, from dealing with the keyboards in the past, these things can be a pain in the butt, but I've learned that there are many of you can get the basically plug and play. You can plug these in and turn it into a USB. And I think on doing this with the Raspberry Pi, it's probably going to be better to basically do everything I can with USB, just because it's nice to have a uniform communication protocol for all of this stuff, and then do the rest of the stuff in software. So that's all the stuff. Now I need to just sit down and order parts, and then, oh, forget about this one. There are some buttons that go on the little top part here. So you got a power. I'm guessing this is internet. I'm not sure what the heck this is. But you got, looks like media, play, pause, stop, rewind, fast forward. Those buttons would be really cool to have functioning. And it looks like, now I haven't pulled this off yet to see if there is any kind of microcontroller, but I have a feeling there's probably a shared ground, and then each one of these are signals for each one of these buttons. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, so there should be 8 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, there's 8 pins. So there, all you have to do basically is just find the ground, and then find out which ones jump it over to which button, and then boom, Bob's your uncle. Go into the Raspberry Pi and hook them up. So that would be cool. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here. So it's going to be a short one, just kind of talking about this to show what's kind of going to be going on. I'm going to order some parts as far as getting the LCD up and running, and going to have to sort out some of the next things once I get things kind of functioning. I'm going to need to mount a battery pack. I do have some lithium cells that I pulled out of I think it was a telephone system backup unit. It's a large brick, and I think it was something like 5,000 milliamp hours or something. It's a crazy amount of storage capacity. I may break that up and figure out a way to, which shouldn't be too hard with this big of a case, mount those batteries in there, hook up the charger, hook everything up correctly, so that way all I have to do is just like a normal laptop, plug in power, charge it up, take it, and away we go. So those are the things that I'm going to try to do with this. I'm not sure if I'm going to have any kind of, not sure if I'm going to have a way to directly access the input-output on the Pi on the laptop yet, or if I'm going to do any kind of fancy things like have an Arduino in line with the Raspberry, although that might be kind of cool. I do a lot of wireless stuff with the that might be an idea with you know, the NRF24 LO1 Plus, and also with XBs. Having an XB in line, having basically a high-powered radio in line, an Arduino on board, maybe directly program the Arduino that's in the lab. No, that might be a cool idea, but have to think about that. But anyway, first things first, got to get this functioning. So I'll get some parts, and then as soon as I get that, I'll give you guys an update. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you like this video. Hope you follow this project. If you like, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Let me know why. And as always, you guys take care. See you next time.